Thank you. So I'm back on record. Uh, Sorry about that. So we'll call this the second half. So we left at evaluating self. If you missed that part, just go back to the first video and well, this will be the second video, the first half of this video, and you can review that. So we talked about evaluating self and old feelings. So now the next one is what we call disclose self. This is important because, first, let me tell you what it is. Disclosed self gives the opportunities for individuals a chance to challenge their own thoughts and feelings and compare both old and new philosophies. So at this point in time, what fathers would do is they would take their old thoughts when they came into the program and they would challenge them with the new thoughts that they've learned. And we give feedback to each other. Obviously, we get feedback because we have other people who's also evaluating their thoughts and feelings, probably against or with other fathers and other brothers in that particular training, and they basically sharpen each other. We both give feedback on each other on what each other see, and then we all evaluate it, and we all weigh in on those thoughts and feelings because this is the beginning of change, the change of mindset. In order to change mindset, you have to challenge those old thoughts with new knowledge, new understanding, new values, new vision. This is the beginning of the change of the mindset for black fathers and for black men. And then we have what we call, so let's review. We have recognize self. We went through recognize self, realize self, evaluate self, disclose self. Now the next one is going to be plan self. They're all in with self. That means that's all about the individual, building the individual. So plan self is to teach problem solving skills. We all need them. And other life skills necessary to evaluate situations that end in more positive consequences. Goes back to what I was saying earlier. Um, if you have misinformation or your views are not in line with what they're supposed to be, whatever that means, or if or maybe you don't have a view at all. This misinformation or lack of information could lead to bad decision making. Okay. In a simple term, let's say you went to go buy a car, and the car looked good, paint was good, it drove good, but there's only one thing that they didn't tell you, that it had mold in it somewhere. And you didn't know that when you bought it, but every time you got in the car, you started getting sick, shortness of breath, that type of thing. And you go to the hospital and say you've been exposed to mold. Now the car looked good, it was clean and all that, but the one thing you did not know before you decided to buy that car is there was some mold in there. And because you lacked the information, you made a bad decision to buying that car. That's just a simple way of putting it to give you an idea. But the results are the same. You had negative consequences. Okay? So that's what we mean by that. So when we when we um, when we plan self, what we're really doing is evaluating our situation, and we're gonna make a plan and problem solve to make those plans using pros and cons of our decisions that we made or have or going to make. We evaluate them with pros and cons of that decision, and it give us a process on how we decide on what we're going to do with some of the challenges that we have with our individual selves. Okay, because it's about the individual. So If I'm not getting along with my child's mother, for instance, we have beef all the time. I'm going to evaluate my pros and cons because I want to be able to have a better relationship for the interests of the children or child. Because again, like we said earlier, if you don't have a relationship with your child, and let's say the mother's not allowing you to do that because you all have drama, then you're really destroying. Both of you are really destroying the child's potential to reach their highest potential. Okay, you may not realize that it's just a little squabble between you two, but the child suffers. What you can do is you can be the one to come up with a plan, and we assist in all of this, so you're not alone. You could be the one to make the plan where you both can get along for the child's interest, not for the personal stuff, just the child's interest, and for the reasons that we said, so they can reach their highest potential. Now, any parent who don't want to let their child reach the highest potential and put something personal in front of that is probably mostly an unfit parent. If you put your squabble in front of, there's some, I'm saying a squabble, but there's some serious things that you just can't avoid, such as domestic violence and stuff like that. We're not talking about those kind of things. When it comes to domestic violence and that kind of stuff, most likely the deal is going to be off, and it may be some other way that, if it's allowed legally, that you can do visitations or supervised visitation. But that's another story. That's more like the exception, not the rule. Most of the times, the relationship broke down because the person went on with another relationship and so on and so forth. But again, the goal is where it can happen, try to make it happen. Now, there are some challenges in guys who may not be able to see their children for legal reasons. That doesn't stop you from preparing yourself to be a good father. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse for you not to want to give your children moral, social, and emotional support. Okay, 9 times out of 10, um, when the father can't visit the children, usually something to do with domestic violence, and it's not forever. But again, these are some of the challenges on the Disclose Self, where you're able to work with the program and other support to help you get back to yourself. Okay. Then, after the plan self, we have what we call commit self. Self-explanatory. So we introduced the acceptance of responsibility and the importance of being responsible and feeling confident about commitments. Because some people are not confident about their commitments. If you're going to commit to doing something, if you don't have no confidence in it, you're not going to do it. If you don't have the support to do it, you're not going to do it. If you don't have the means to do it, you're not going to do it. So that's what we're here for. We're here to help you build that confidence. We help fathers build that confidence. We help fathers with that plan. We assist the plan. We will assist on both sides, on the mother's end and on the court's end. Any other way we have to assist, we're able and capable of assisting in all those directions because we have an overall plan, a success story for you that you're going to succeed. And we advocate that, and we'll be there to help you succeed. We're there, right there, along with other brothers who are also fathers, who also may similarly situated, who with a shared responsibility where they help each other. We all help each other. And so that's the commit self. So you have to, in that commit self, we do exercises and lesson plans that help build your confidence. If you haven't been with your child for a long time, let's say you've been in prison, you just got out, the children's 5 years, they was 5 when you were 10 years old, now they haven't seen you, it's hard to adjust back to that relationship. That's what we're here for. We have specialized people to counsel with kids. We build that relationship, bridge back together slowly by starting to do things together, have group sessions with the father and the children and the mother at some point, and you get that group back together and start bridging that gap back. We have people who coach the children and help them understand what's going on, so they know you've been gone for 5 years, and all of a sudden you come back and now you want to tell them what to do. They're like, well, where was you at when 4 years ago when when I needed my homework done, that type of thing. But it happens, and it gives us the opportunity and everyone an opportunity to give the children, particularly the boys, an insight on what challenges they may face and how to prepare for them now. Okay, so in any of that negativity, we can bring some positive out of it. You know, so that's commit self. Now, the last and final core concept is what we call build self. And what we do is we help participants learn civic duties to self, family, and positive community lifestyle choices. And what I mean by civic duties, that means serving on juries, voting, community volunteering, um, community participation. Um, because without community, you're just an individual. So there's a community out there of fathers, there's a community of other black men, a community of other black causes that you can be part of. Is your sort of like your way of giving back. Okay, it's your opportunity to give back, to be part of society, to be able to grow in society productively and demonstrate this positivity to your children as well. You know, um, a lot of black men never voted before. None of them are registered voters. These are the kind of civic stuff that we get into. We register you as a voter. Okay, we find if you like church, I mean, you can find yourself a church to go to, a mosque, synagogue, whatever. We want you to be able to have some kind of civic activities along with your family, because as they say, a family that prays together stays together. It's just the little things like being home for dinner, maybe even cooking sometime. I cook, so I don't mind. But it's just those little things. This is what we do. What we do is we help brothers develop these skills, these little things, and we put it on their brain that makes a big impact on their children and then on themselves as well. You know, a lot of brothers don't even have a suit. They like to wear sneakers and jeans and all that. We changed that. You're gonna at least have one suit when you're in this program. We're gonna help you get that suit. If you never wore a suit before, believe me, it's gonna be a day you wear it. Okay. Um, this is just some of the things we do. So we want people. We want to show the other side of things, show some positive stuff. Um, in addition to that, these core concepts are going to be online for the first time. No other program in the nation has that. You don't have an academy of black fathers online. Like, technology has changed a lot, and so we're able to reach more people. We're able to reach more younger fathers in particular because they're more keen to social media stuff and like that. And you could be on your phone, your laptop, your cell phone, your laptop, your computer at home, or anywhere with this internet on your smart TV. And you'll be able to stream some courses and classes, some recordings, some live stream. There'll be a little bit of both. In the beginning, there'll be live streams, and those live streams will turn to recordings for later on when someone wants to go back and look at that particular class, questions that was asked. Maybe they may look at 2 or 3 different classes where people were in and asked different questions. So that's what that archives before, and you'll be able to go back. They'll be able to go back in there and look at those lesson plans, those particular courses, who was instructing them, because I know all instructors are probably going to approach it the same. I mean, the approach it different, but with the same outcomes. That is a free way that I give my instructors. As long as the outcome is the same, I'm good with it because everybody teaches differently. And so that's big, big, big time for this program to be online and be able to access anywhere in the world, actually. Like I said, wherever there's internet. And also, we're going to be participating more in the incarcerated fathers in the community-based correction programs like pre-release, work release, pre-release, and lower security facilities, wherein we can go into the facility and bring the lesson plans into the facility. We do all this in partnership with other agencies, such as we will partner with the Department of Corrections. Obviously, we can't just pop up in their prisons and say, yeah, we're here. And we submit a plan to them, and everybody's different, so we kind of stay open and tailor the program to the policies of that particular facility. And then once we draft that and we get it on, we try to keep it there. We try to make sure we're there for to help fathers make that adjustment back into society and back into their responsibility, and help them and assist them during that time, even if we have to institute some mentoring. We do that particularly for young fathers. Definitely we institute the mentoring portion of it, where we actually visit at home. We have anywhere from 3 to 4 contacts a week by phone and in person, at home, in an office. So it depends on the assessment we do. Everybody has an assessment in the beginning, and it depends on that assessment to determine how we actually structure that plan for that particular father, and in order to make them successful in what they do. Okay, so that's it for now. That's a little bit about the program. We may have some other videos on other topics, like specifically the services, like the incarcerated fathers, what we do. We may do that. We're not sure yet. Doing a little bit at a time. Still got a lot to upload on the website. So if you can subscribe on the website, so we can send you an emails when something changes, and you can keep updated on. I'm Antonio Celesta, the founder of the Academy of African American Fathers, and I thank you for your time. Appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great day. And don't forget, tell your black men, fathers, cousins, brothers, nephews, brother-in-laws, tell them all to visit the website. Doesn't hurt to visit it for them to get information. Okay? You never know. You just might help someone. Thank you. Have a great day.